Hey, today I want to talk to you about dilution. It's one of the most important subjects for you to understand as a founder, and it can have a big impact on how much value you get out of your startup at the end of the day. So what is dilution? Well, let me use a cake analogy so you can understand how it works. So when I start my business, I start owning 100% of the cake. As I invite other people in to help me build my startup, be they investors investing money in me, be they advisors or be they team members, I'm giving away a share of ownership in the company, which is like giving away pieces of my cake. In that scenario, the remaining piece of the cake that I own is smaller. And that's what we're referring to by dilution. So my percentage ownership in the startup is going to decrease over time as I give a share to investors, as I give share to my team members, etc. Okay, so dilution and the success of my startup is all about balancing that dilution with the growth of the company. So if I'm growing my company effectively, then the increase in valuation of my startup is going to more than offset for the reduction in percentage ownership that I have of it, right? But it's really important you understand this concept. It can be the difference if you reach unicorn status, you billion-dollar valuation. It could be the difference between you and it walking away with $200 million in ownership or $50 million in ownership. It could be that big. So how are you going to understand dilution and what it's going to do to your company? Well, you need to actually model out scenarios around multiple funding rounds and around things like how much equity you're going to give to your team over time as well. So even from your very first funding round, you know that if you're going to be successful, you're not just going to raise an angel or a pre-seed round, you're likely to raise a seed, series A, etc. So find out what average dilution levels are, map it all out in different scenarios, what we call modeling, and to understand how much you want to give away at each funding round, right? And then as you actually go, it's all about balancing the growth of your business with the amount of dilution you've actually got to get the optimum outcome for you and your team. So understand how dilution works. From day one and from your very first funding round, you need to think about not only that funding round, but future funding rounds and actually run scenarios or what we call modeling on what that might look like over time. And be careful with that. It's a limited resource that you've got in terms of your ownership percentages. You work hard for the success you're generating for yourself and your stakeholders. Make sure you're actually understanding dilution. Make sure you're making smart decisions and you'll walk away with a winning outcome at the end of the day.